Yeah. Are we on YouTube, brother? Yes. Welcome to Drinkin Bros, the first of our 5 fantasy football drafts. What's up? YouTube's not fucking doing it. So am I on? Live? Yes, Queen. Yes, welcome to Drinkin Bros, fantasy football draft. We're in the middle of the stink here. We've got 5 leagues every single year. Craig Daleske is a big fan of the Iowa Hawkeyes. They're the biggest disappointments in the world. Therefore, we have named a league after him called the Daleske Disappointments League. This year, the grand prize is a signed Ryan Leaf jersey because there is no bigger disappointment than Ryan Leaf in the history of the NFL. I drafted first because I set the league, and that's how it is in ESPN. If you set up the league, you get the first pick, and let's face it, I probably deserved it. If you were listening to the show the other day, you know that I said you're an idiot if you don't take Christian McCaffrey with the first pick. I have taken Christian McCaffrey. Ezekiel Elliott is off the board at number 2, which I love, and I said that on the show. I think he should have gone second. He is not ranked second in a lot of people's drafts. Saquon Barkley went after that. Michael Thomas, the wide receiver, went after that, which is a little too early for me at pick 4, followed by Alvin Kamara, Dalvin Cook, and Derrick Henry. Those are all great choices. Michael Thomas went a little too early for my taste. Now, ESPN's got Miles Sanders as number 8 on the board. That's real fucking high for me. What I would recommend is if you are in an ESPN league, set your own queue, rank your own players, because the ones that they have ranked are incorrect in my opinion, and I think there is better options than what they are presenting you with. Again, Miles Sanders at 8 is too high, and so is Kenyon Drake at 10. I don't agree with that at all. What's interesting is Clyde Edwards-Hilaire is at 9. He's a rookie. Never seen him play, yet he's going 9th overall in fantasy football this year, according to ESPN. Again, that is a little high for me. After Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs went at 8. Nick Chubb went after that. Miles Sanders went off the board at 10 in this league. And then Daleske disappointments, followed by Julio Jones and Aaron Jones to round out the first round here. I don't mind any of those picks except for Miles Sanders, and I think Michael Thomas went a little high. If he is the same year he had last year, congratulations. That's a money move. But to repeat that with Drew Brees, who's close to 100 years old, is a lot. It's Friday afternoon, kids. I'm drinking with you. I don't have access to the YouTubes for me personally. Perhaps I'll take a second and set it up real quick so I can answer any of your questions if you're at home drafting this weekend or next week in the fantasy football world. Maybe I can't. Maybe I can't. Maybe you can see all the porn. Maybe you can see how discombobulated all my shit is on my laptop. Oof. It's terrible, isn't it? I'm getting rid of this computer. So the new St. James book is coming out at Thanksgiving. I'm down to like my last edit before I turn it in. Therefore, I'm keeping everything going on this fucking shitty old computer, and then once I am done, I am done. By the way, it wasn't shitty when I bought it. I think it's like 2013. I think my mom got it for me for Christmas. Shout out to Mom. There's no way she's watching this or listening to it, but yeah, here we are. Georgia, you don't have to do an audio show for this, so you're good, just for YouTube. This is simply for I don't want to say evidence, but it's kind of evidence to go back and see, like, if you had a shitty draft, if you have a shitty team, I want this to live forever on YouTube and for people to be able to come on here and shame you after that. Right after Aaron Jones, top of round 2 went DeAndre Hopkins, followed by Travis Kelce. I don't mind either of those picks. Look, Travis Kelce is the best tight end of the game. There's not a lot of them this year. Patrick Mahomes went. Look, there's always someone, man, who's going to draft up and get a quarterback early. If you're going to do it, Pat Mahomes is probably the dude to do it on. Chris Godwin went after that. Devontae Adams, Juju Smith-Schuster, followed by Kenyon Drake. Now, that's where I expect Kenyon Drake to go. I don't know whose team this is, but I'm using my computer for YouTube right now, so I don't know whose team this is. But as I'm watching this draft unfold, there goes Clyde, Hilaire, Edwards, followed by Tyreek Hill. Those are both great choices there. That's where I expected Clyde, Hilaire, Edwards to go. So Craig Daleske is right in front of me, and then it'll be my pick next. I took Christian McCaffrey with the first pick in the draft. George Kittle went off the board after Tyreek Hill. Again, not a lot of great tight ends this year. I understand going after an elite tight end. You have an elite tight end, and you could win your championship, because sometimes these guys turn out to be just as good as a wide receiver, and they're putting up those points. Mark Andrews went off the board after that to Craig Daleske, tight end. So people are really leery in this league that they're not going to get a great tight end. I'm fine with it because I've got some sleepers. I am more concerned with the running back position, because that is really fucking thin this year. And Austin Eckler has fallen to the end of round 2. Therefore, I'm going to draft him right here. I'm also going to try to grab another great running back if they are out there right now. And there's a few on the board here that I really, really like. Man, Leonard Fournette is hard here for me, because the guy is... his work ethic isn't always there. My sleeper this year, as far as running backs go, in a lot of these leagues, has been David Johnson. I think David Johnson's going to have a bounce-back year. Therefore, I'm going to take a flyer on him here. I would go Chris Carson, because Chris Carson is great for the Seattle Seahawks. He always gets hurt, and sometimes there's those players for me that are just pure gut instincts where I'm like, fuck that guy, man. I'm not going to get him, so I'm going to go with David Johnson. That is my sleeper this year. And I know David Johnson gets hurt all the time, but... that'll give me 3 strong running backs to start off the draft. I went with Christian McCaffrey, Austin Eckler, and David Johnson. So that's going to put a lot of people on their heels now, because there's not a lot of great running backs left out there. And if this swings back around to me, and there's another sleeper, wink, wink, if you were listening to last week's show on there, I'm going to grab him as well. We'll see. We'll see what happens here. See how this shakes out. The good tight ends, though, are almost gone here, and we're barely at the top of round 3 here. So we hear what happens. Craig Daleske. Look at the new set, by the way. We're in Austin, Texas. And hey, can they see my computer screen on here?
Not right now. I turned on when they want to.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, perfect. We're at the new studio here, and man, we got to get these chairs situated. This desk is really high. I look like I got a double chin here because it's a little low. You can always go higher with that shot, Giorgio. You know that for me. You know Daddy's a tall drink. You know Daddy is a tall drink. But here we are, kids. Who else we got going here? You can pop up. You can go full screen for the draft here as I kind of marry the two. There it is. There it is. people are nervous, taking a lot of time here in this league. I think as the pressure's on, they want this jersey, this signed Ryan Leaf jersey, and they know that I am about business, and I'm not afraid to fucking beat all you assholes and take your gifts and prizes. Right after David Johnson went Mike Evans. That's a great pick there. Adam Thielen went after that. Joe Mixon and Lamar Jackson, the second quarterback, is off the board there. Amari Cooper went after him, followed by Darren Waller. Whew, that tight end position is bleak now at this point in this league. And I understand it. Look, fantasy football is a game of trends as well, man. And as soon as people start taking quarterbacks, a bunch of quarterbacks usually go. As soon as people start taking tight ends, a bunch of tight ends usually go. There is a great depth at wide receiver this year. Therefore, I'm waiting, and we'll see what happens. Again, there's still a couple dudes left here that, like, man, I'm not afraid to load up on running back, and I've got some sleepers this year. Chris Carson is still on the board in this draft, and we're at the end of the third, which is shocking. Zach Ertz is now gone. Leonard Fournette is now gone, and Calvin Ridley is off the board after Zach Ertz towards the end of round 3. Balls. That fucking tight end position is real thin. Real thin. I'm not going to say who else I should take because I'm in the middle of this draft, but when I get to that pick, I'll tell you why I did what I did. And why I'm going to wait on tight end. But pretty shocking to see Chris Carson still on the board here at the end of round 3. That's crazy. He has no injuries, by the way. He's not designated with any injuries. People are just saying, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. Who do we got here? Todd Gurley went off the board. Look, Todd Gurley's with the Atlanta Falcons this year. I'm a diehard Falcons fan. We all know this. We all know my love of the Atlanta Falcons. If he has a great year, the Falcons could do some fucking damage this year. They have a really tough schedule. I'm not sure what it's going to be like if some stadiums have fans and others don't, how that's going to affect the players. This is going to be a strange fucking year, man. But look, if Todd Gurley has a great year, the Falcons are set with Matty Ice, Calvin Ridley, Julio Jones, and Mr. Gurley here. Kenny Golladay went off the board after that. Man, I love Kenny Golladay. I don't know if Matt Stafford's going to be healthy or not this year, but if he is, Kenny Golladay is going to have a monster season. So that's a decent pick there. This draft, though, I will say is going very, very slow because people are really, really nervous. They want what daddy's got, and it's look, kids, you go against the best and you find out what happens. I won 2 out of 6 last year. Year before, I won 4 out of 6 leagues, and it's tough to beat the big guy. You're only going to beat me if I have some injuries. I'm going to be honest with you. It's kind of the same rules every year. I'm one of the best in the biz. After Kenny Golladay went DJ Moore. People are high on DJ Moore this year because Teddy Bridgewater is the quarterback for the Carolina Panthers, and I understand it. I'm not mad at that at all. Chris Carson finally went off the board after that. I guarantee you somebody was listening to the show and they were like, what the fuck? I should have drafted Chris Carson. It's a great pick there in the middle of round 4. Congratulations on that. Shit, dude. Even though what I said at the top of, hey, man, I don't pick him because he might get injured, it doesn't mean he's a great player, and you should always draft the best available at this point. Right now, they've got Le'Veon Bell listed as the best running back left to go. I'm not sure how that whole situation is going to shake out in New York with the Jets. I drafted him last year, and I thought he was going to have a monster year, and he fucked me every single week. I was lucky to get 10 points out of that guy, 10, 14 points out of that guy. To my knowledge, he never had a 100-yard game, and it cost me in like 2 of my leagues drafting that guy in the second round, mid-second there. After Chris Carson went James Conner. James Conner, look, man, I think the Steelers are going to have a bounce-back year. I think it's a great pick. Devin Singletary went after that, the running back for Buffalo. He's great. I'm very high on Buffalo. I think they win that division this year. And Odell Beckham Jr. Look, Odell Beckham Jr. is one of the most talented wide receivers of all time. It depends on what happens with Baker Mayfield and if he's any good. Me personally, I don't think he's going to pan out in the NFL, but I think that's going to help Odell Beckham Jr., and I think Homeboy is going to step in as backup quarterback and lead them. And I think the Browns could have a good year with their backup quarterback. not with it's Case Keenum, not with Baker Mayfield. Never liked Baker Mayfield. So we'll see. Melvin Gordon is an interesting pick. He's in Denver this year. I'm going to pair him up with Phillip Lindsay. Man, Denver could have a great year this year. They got a ton of great young talents, and there's a few running backs that are still on the board here that are great. I'm going to dip on over to the wide receivers and check out who's left. Deep drafts for wide receivers. All of my faves are still there so far. So what I'm going to do here is kind of wait and hang back. And if some of my sleepers at running back are still there, I'm going to grab them. If not, then I'll start dipping over into the wide receivers. Right after Odell Beckham Jr. went Raheem Mostert. And then Deshaun Watson, third quarterback off the board. Le'Veon Bell, Melvin Gordon, and Cooper Kupp. My little Cooper Kupp, as Matthew Berry always says. Melvin Gordon this late is great. That's a great pick. And I can't hate on Deshaun Watson right there in the middle of the fourth, man. If you have a shitty quarterback, it'll fuck up your entire fantasy season. So I totally understand, man. Deshaun Watson, they got Brandon Cooks. He's going to be throwing a lot of dump out balls to David Johnson this year. You know, if you're in a PPR, all that shit counts. So I don't mind that Deshaun Watson there at all. He's going to have to carry that fucking team as he does every year, I feel like. After that was Jonathan Taylor. So Jonathan Taylor, that was a pick before me. That was my sleeper. I really fucking wanted Jonathan Taylor. He's not there anymore. So he's gone. However, there's another guy in there that I think is going to have a big year. He had a great year last year, and I love this guy. Therefore, I'm going to keep stacking up on running backs, man, and I'm going to go Kareem Hunt here. I'm going to fuck over everybody's world with this and go Kareem Hunt. And then just because he's there and he's not taken, I'm going to go 5 fucking running backs in a row and fuck over everyone's world here and take Mark Ingram. Because again, I think there is so many wide receivers in this fucking draft that I'm going to stock my cupboard full of running backs. And I'm sure I'm getting lit up in the message boards. I just can't see it right now. Maybe it can. There we go. You can pop open that board, by the way, for fantasy. Nico the Greco said Taylor had a better starting line at... do I have to be on the fantasy football? I got you. That's dumb of me. That's really dumb of me to not do that, Giorgio, and I apologize. But yeah, I'll pop on over to the big board here. So when I go over to the ESPN board, is that the board they're seeing? Gotcha. So they're just hearing my lovely voice and seeing this board. Is there any way to put picture in picture?
I did, they can't read it.
I can't read it.
It's so small.
I understand it. Well, I'll tell you what, go picture in picture, and then I'll commentate with it. So that way they can at least see who's on there. And if they have binoculars or they're watching on a fucking TV at home or some form of seeing eyeglass, right? They can see it. After Kareem Hunt and Mark Ingram, I took 5 running backs. Is Russell Wilson. Oof, it pains me, man, but because I hate this motherfucker more than life itself. But Russell Wilson is probably going to have a great year. And my early prediction before we do the NFL prediction show is that the Seattle Seahawks will go to the Super Bowl this year, or if Chaz lets them. I don't know if the city of Chaz is going to let them, or CHOP, or whatever they're calling it right now. But 5 running backs is pretty devastating. Again, I'm doing this simply because the wide receivers are so deep that it does not matter to me, and I can still get my favorite wide receivers. Tyler Lockett went after that. Cortland Sutton went after that. Cortland Sutton's a great wide receiver for the Broncos. Broncos have a good team, man. If Drew Lock can pull it together as quarterback, they're going to have a fucking monster year. So we'll see here. I'll try to get to some of your comments now on the side. Rookie mistake, Ross. He's saying rookie mistake to take 5 running backs. You're talking to the king, Ruben Schneider. The king don't miss. You're probably going to be in my league this year, I think, because you won last year. I think you're in the Cutthroat Killers League this year, and you're going to pay the fucking price for that comment, Ruben Schneider, because I'm the best. There's plenty of wide receivers. I don't need this. I don't need your bullshit on this. Ruben Schneider says, I have a feeling Ross is going to get a lot more Russell Wilson pictures sent. So if you don't know that inside joke, there is a stock standard joke going around that's there's a guy who is in Drinkin Bros Sports. Every time the Seahawks win, he sends me a gay photo of Russell Wilson to my Instagram account, which is at STJames. And I mean, the second the game is over, the second the Seattle Seahawks have won any game, I get a gay picture from Russell Wilson from him. Look, man, I made a lot of money on the Seahawks last year with mybookie.com. Promo code Drinkin Bros will double your deposit. That's where we're betting all of our shit. And I made a lot of money off the Seahawks last year. For whatever reason, man, I was able to figure out that team. And shit, I want to say it was 7-1 bet on them last year. It was great. It was great. And I know what you're saying is, hey, man, there's 16 games in a year. I will only bet on the games that I think that you can win money, and that's what I do for myself. So I would never tell you to bet on something that I don't think is going to win for you. But who do we got now? Who do we got now? Right after Cortland Sutton went A.J. Brown, the wide receiver out of Tennessee. Allen Robinson went after that. Matt Ryan went after that. Rob Gronkowski, the Gronk. Great pick for tight end this late, especially in a draft that everybody's picked tight ends. Scary Terry went after that. I love Scary Terry this year. And Haskins looks really great so far in preseason. Evan Ingram went after that. Devontae Parker went after that. Now I'm going to have to start dipping into some wide receivers because I went heavy on the running backs this year. And look, most of my faves are still there, man. So I feel pretty good about it. I feel pretty good about going 5 running backs, to be honest with you. It's so deep that it's like, man, yeah, why not? Why not wait? And I can afford to at this point. After Devontae Parker went DeAndre Swift. I love DeAndre Swift. I know he's got some injury right now. I'm not sure how serious it is. He's the running back from the Lions. He was great at the University of Georgia, and he could have a monster year. I was one of my sleeper picks on the earlier show. But the only reason I didn't take him here is I don't know what his injury is right now. And then Robert Woods went after him. And that's what I'm talking about, man. You're in fucking round 6, and you're still able to get Robert Woods, who's going to have a fantastic year for the LA Rams. And I'm amped about that. Ronald Jones II went after that. DK Metcalf, who's going to have a really great year with Seattle if Antonio Brown doesn't go there. Dak Prescott went after that. Oof, Dak Prescott's going to be amazing this year. And I hate to say that as well. I hate the fucking Cowboys, but he's going to have a great season. Now that we're in Texas, I'll be going to a bunch of Cowboys games. I think their stadium is going to be at 50% capacity, so we'll see. Stephon Diggs went off the board after that. James White, Jared Cook, and Keenan Allen went on the board after that. My receivers are still there, the ones that I love, the ones that I hold near and dear to my heart today. I'm glad I waited at this point. We're at the end of round 6. There's 2 picks ahead of me. T.Y. Hilton just went. That's what I'm talking about. T.Y. Hilton's going to have a fucking monster year for the Colts. Now that Phillip Rivers is his quarterback, have fun. It's not Jacoby Brissett, homeboy. You got Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers is not afraid to chuck, dude, every down. Tariq Cohen went after that. We're near the end of the 6th round now, and we're going to get to Daddy's back-to-back picks here. So we'll see how this shakes out. We'll see how this shakes out for me getting some wide receivers because that's where I'm going after this. One guy in particular I had drafted last year. He had a great season for me, and I'm a fan, and that's Jarvis Landry, and he just got picked by Craig Daleske right before me. Proud of you, Craigers. It's a big boy decision there. But looking at the wide receivers, again, now this is where I'm going to start with wide receivers. There's a couple guys I really, really like in particular this year because of where they're at. That DJ Chark kid, Jr., is in his second year wide receiver from Jacksonville. He had a monster year last year, so I'm going to take him off the board. And Minshew is quarterback. Him and Minshew had something going last year, man, and it was great. Scored a lot of points in fantasy. I'm going to take him. The Jacksonville Jaguars are always going to be behind, so they're going to have to chuck a lot. And the other guy I love, man, again, to go back to the Cowboys, Michael Gallup. Michael Gallup had over 1,000 yards last year. I think he's going to have a great year this year. I think the Cowboys are going to be really fucking good. And that pains my heart to say, but I'm going to draft him right here. And those are two solid options at wide receiver going into the 7th fucking round. I mean, those guys are still around, and there's a ton of great ones left. It's shameful how deep wide receiver position is this year. But that's where we are, kids. Right after that, Craig Daleske's back on the board again. He's changed his team name 3 or 4 times. So if you want to go to Craig Daleske's Facebook account and give him hell for changing his team name so many times, go ahead. I named my team this year Rip's Dead Mom after Cole House's character in Yellowstone, babe. That scene during the season finale where he dug up his dead mom, who's been dead for 20 years, was one of the most unnecessary scenes ever written into a television show. And therefore, I named my team Rip's Dead Mom because that was one of the most ridiculous scenes I've seen in television history, to be honest with you. And I'm curious if you guys are in the message boards. What do you think? If you're in the message boards, first of all, hammer the like button. Second of all, what do you think of the Yellowstone season finale there? Yeah, so AJ Gamble, it's Rip's Dead Mom is my team name. The Hawk said, I was hoping for a cooking show. Hey, you know, we're actually adding a bunch of shows to our channel and to the media company, and that is one we are definitely keen on, is getting a awesome cooking show going. We tested one out with Jessie, and I think that would be rad. And Dan is also a great cook as well. So we're going to try to do that as well, along with some others. Can't say what they are yet, but Moose Cholak said she had a great embalmer. Goddamn right she did. Goddamn right. It was Eddie. It was Eddie who did the embalming on that body. So you're welcome for that. Y'all need to show your grilling skills, Jordan Wenzel says. I agree, man. I am a grill master. So when we were at Dakota Meyer's house over the weekend, we had a cookout at his house on Sunday. The big guy hopped behind the grill on that one and took the controls. But yeah, I'm a big fan of doing cooking shows, and I think it would be fucking great on there. I'll hop back over to the draft. Can they see the draft on there? There you go. Boom. And we'll kind of catch you up to speed here on who went after DJ Chark. DJ Chark. Michael Gallup was obviously my pick after that. Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown, another great wide receiver in the 7th round, kids. Kyler Murray went after that. That's a great pick. I think he's going to have a big year. Cam Akers, AJ Green, Tyler Boyd, Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks, man, if he could not have 800 concussions a year, could have a great year with Deshaun Watson. And Aaron Rodgers went after that. Hard to decide whether or not he's a straight male in this world. I think that's your biggest. Look, Aaron Rodgers, great quarterback, but it depends on if you like your quarterbacks straight or not. I'm kidding. It's for all you Packers fans out there. I think that Aaron Rodgers is the greatest he is. He's first ballot Hall of Famer. He's only got 1 Super Bowl so far. Will Fuller 5 went after that. Man, I fucking love Will Fuller 5. Another guy who always has hamstring injuries for some reason. David Montgomery went after that. He is going to be one of the running backs in Chicago this year. Deebo Samuel went after that, the wide receiver out of San Francisco. That's a good pick. I mean, so many fucking good wide receivers. Marvin Jones Jr. went after that. He's another great wide receiver. Tom Brady went after that. Tom Brady's going to have a good year. He's 43 years old, which is weird to say out loud. But he's going to be chucking the ball. And then J.K. Dobbins out of the Ohio State University. It's a great sleeper pick this year, man. That kid was fucking special at Ohio State, and I expect him to have an amazing season in Baltimore. It's a great pick down there. And truthfully, if I didn't need wide receivers, I would have got him in those 6th and 7th rounds where I needed him to be. But what is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. Deontay Johnson went after that. Look, he's the wide receiver for Pittsburgh. I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see how he's going to pan out. Antonio Brown's not there, so he's going to be getting some balls in his face. But if something happens to Roethlisberger, he's fucked. He is fucked, along with the rest of those wide receivers last year. Man, that Steelers team was brutal to watch, man. Mason Rudolph just isn't that fucking dude at all. Justin Jefferson went after that. That's a great pick, man. I always like to take a couple rookies on my team every year. Justin Jefferson is replacing Stephon Diggs this year. So not a bad choice at all. We are halfway through the Daleske Disappointments Fantasy Football Draft. We're in round 8 of 16. And this is where people really start hemming and hawing over these picks. Oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Pull yourself out of your beehole and realize that Philip Lindsay is still on the board, and he just got drafted. It's a great pick. Philip Lindsay's on the board. CeeDee Lamb. That is a great pick, man. I wanted the Falcons to take him in the fantasy football, or not the fantasy football, my fantasy football would be as if he went to the Falcons. He did not. The Falcons had yet another disappointing first-round pick where I just wanted to fucking blow my brains out. They could have had CeeDee Lamb. It would have been Todd Gurley, CeeDee Lamb, Calvin Ridley, Julio Jones, and Matt Ryan. You don't even need a fucking defense at that point because you would have put 60 on the board every week. Eesh. And now he's going to light it up for the Cowboys, man. A lot of people picking the Cowboys to win the Super Bowl this year. Right after CeeDee Lamb went Julian Edelman. We're at the end of round 8, and Julian Edelman was still on the board. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Wide receiver is deep, son. Deep. So there was just no need for any of that nonsense, that bull honky, that bull mess out there. So I'm definitely going to go wide receiver here with my next pick, kind of shore up that group, and then I'll pop on over to another position and see where we're at. Christian Kirk just went off the board. Great wide receiver out of Arizona. Look, Kyler Murray's going to be chucking the ball. It's a good pick. Kerryon Johnson, running back out of Detroit. Man, I thought he was my sleeper last year and was going to be a superstar. He got hurt. But it's a great pick this year. He'll be splitting time with DeAndre Swift, I would imagine. And Detroit Lions, man, could be fun. They got a great young team. If Stafford can stay healthy. And I actually like their coach. A lot of people don't, but I like their coach, man. Patricia. I think Patricia's good, man. I think it's great for that city. I'd like to see the Lions do something. Make the playoffs, make a run. Seems like every year they're fucking 5-11, though. So we'll find out what happens. Greg Daleske is on the board for the last pick in the 8th round. He took Tevin Coleman. It's a great pick, Greg. I can't believe he was available in the 8th round here. If he is available, I'm going to pop over to the running backs one more time. Like, are you kidding me with this? No, he took the last good one. You're good after that. I'll dip into the wide receivers here and try to fill that out. There's some great ones on the board here. Golden Tate is available. Emmanuel Sanders, dude, is down in New Orleans this year. He could have a big year down there. And you got the rookie, Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Judy's going to be a superstar, I have a feeling. So I tell you what, man, I'm going to go with a little gut check on this. I'm gonna go with my gut on this one. I'm gonna go Emmanuel Sanders. I'm gonna take him. And look, I always said I like to take a running back. I mean a rookie. So I'm gonna take the rookie Jerry Jeudy this year and see what he does. And that'll give me 4 great wide receivers super late in the draft. I got DJ Chark, DJ Chark, and then Emmanuel Sanders and Jerry Jeudy. I mean, fuck. I feel good about slotting any of those guys in, to be honest with you. Now I should probably start to focus on other positions here because I feel like the running backs are filled out for me. Wide receivers are filled out for me. Ton of great quarterbacks left on the boards. Maybe I'll wait on that. The position that's real thin is tight end. Hopefully nobody from my own draft is watching this right now, so they don't know to get the people that I want. But we'll find out. You're going to like the way you look. I guarantee it. We'll see. Right after Jerry Jeudy went Curtis Samuel from Carolina. I love Curtis Samuel. I think he's great. I'm not a fucking believer in Teddy Bridgewater, and I took a lot of shit from it last year because the Saints went undefeated with him as quarterback when Drew Brees was hurt with a broken thumb for those few games. I know he was undefeated. It was not pretty to watch. I'm not a Teddy Bridgewater fan. Hence, besides Christian McCaffrey, I stay away from all these motherfuckers on the Carolina Panthers. It's fine if you want to pick their defense, I guess. Luke Kuechly retired. No, it's not even fine with that. Carolina's going to be shit this year. It's too tough a division, too, man. You got the Saints, you got the Falcons, and you got the Bucks, man, which who knows with Brady there, man. They could be excellent or they could be very average. Find out what a 43-year-old quarterback can do. I don't remember it in my lifetime besides Brett Favre, I guess. Favre had a great year with the Vikings, but then he shit the bed the next year. After that went Jared Goff, quarterback for the Rams. I think he's going to have a good year. Josh Allen went after that. I love Josh Allen, man. Privately, that's probably who I would have picked. And this is public, so now you get that info. I would have taken Josh Allen because of his ability to run, and he's also got Stephon Diggs there, and I think Devin Singletary is going to be a great running back for the Bills this year. So I'm psyched about that. Right after him went Zach Moss. I don't know who Zach Moss is. Full disclosure. He's the running back for Buffalo, allegedly. Allegedly. I don't know who this human being is, but that's how thin it is at running backs that if you're taking Zach Moss in the 9th round, chances are you're in trouble. Or you're trying to handcuff him with Devin Singletary, I guess. I don't have that info in front of me because we're going live on YouTube. Right after him was Cam Newton and then Golden Tate. Look, man, fucking Golden Tate is great. He's going to be on the show here in a couple weeks. He went mid now, round 9. That's a great pick, man. I think Danny Dimes, look, that's the only guy he has to throw to up there. So him and Evan Ingram, I guess. So that's a great pick. Golden Tate should be fine this year. Is he going to light the world on fire? No. Will he have a fucking couple huge weeks of like 30 points? You bet. But he's probably a solid 10-point guy every week, and that's not bad for a flex position. Right after that is Robbie Anderson, who is, to my knowledge, the only living wide receiver in New York for the Jets. And, it is what it is if that's your jam, dude. I don't trust anything on the Jets. And I certainly don't trust Sam Darnold. I don't trust that motherfucker. So, therefore, I didn't draft Robbie Anderson. McCole Hardman went after that. Look, man, there's a ton of weapons in KC. Cole Hardman was a great fill-in. And he's one of those guys, man, he'll erupt every 4 weeks and give you like 50 points. And it'll be astronomical. And it'll be amazing. He'll have an 80-yard touchdown catch. And he's good in a flex position. I would not start him, though, as your one or two top 2 wide receivers. Hunter Henry went off the board, tight end for the Chargers. After that, Henry Ruggs went after that. Great rookie. I always say take a couple rookies, man, to see what can happen. Henry Ruggs could be that dude this year. We'll see. And that's a great pick this late. And Matt Breida. Matt Breida, man, if he can stay healthy, he's fucking rad. The problem is he can't. And he's down in Miami, and that's even worse. Miami is awful. Awful team. And I don't know what he's going to do down there, man. Either he's going to get the ball every single week or he's not, and he's going to be a disaster like the rest of the team. But we'll see. We'll see. We're in the 10th round now. And people are really gnashing their teeth out there. I've got a couple sleepers at tight end. So the reason why I waited this late in the draft for tight end, even though everybody went Bulls on parade on tight ends, was there's a couple sleepers that I love that I knew would be there this late. Do I want to give you the inside info on who they are right now? No, I don't, because I haven't drafted them yet. But they're coming up in 8 or 9 picks here, and then I'll be able to fucking really rock you. Be able to rock your face with who those are. But I can't give them up now because there's still nine dudes ahead of me trying to butt fuck me in this league. Tyler Higbee went after that. And then Jack Doyle. Jack Doyle's not bad. It's the tight end for the Steelers. Look, Big Ben loves to throw to the tight end. I think Jack Doyle's a great tight end, but he's learning a new system. We'll see what happens there. He's the only guy. So, shit. You never know. You never fucking know. But what I do recommend is taking 2 good tight ends. Like, get a backup tight end. Some people don't. Some people stream them. I don't like that just because there's not enough tight ends that if you don't draft them, good luck fighting the waiver wire to try to get a fucking backup tight end, man. It's tough. It's a hard knock life there. at that position. Therefore, I go 2. Somebody named their team Fuck China, by the way, and I like that. Obviously, I hate China. Don't support them as a country whatsoever, and I love that name. John Brown went after that, and Drew Brees. Drew Brees went off the board. Drew Brees is another guy who's 43 years old, still playing quarterback in the NFL. Probably have a great year, unless he felt guilty for getting shamed on Twitter for his stance against kneeling for the flag. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Again, drafts is usually will slow down at this point here in the 10th, because people are hemming and hawing over their picks, and most of it is because they're looking for running backs. They took wide receivers early in the draft, and now they're trying to find some superstar running back in this pile of shit that's left over. So I wish you all the best in that, but that is not my fucking life at this point, because I've taken 5, so you can go fuck yourself. Some people say, hey, man, why'd you take 5? I can always trade one, too. Or I can put 3 in the flex. Tell everyone to get fucked. But there's plenty of great quarterbacks, wide receivers, so I'm going late on all of them. And then tight end as well, man. Tight end, my sleepers were on the board, and a lot of people don't know about them. Therefore, I'm like, I can wait. I don't really care. I don't really fucking care about you or your fucking life. I'm talking about you or your fucking life. Quarterback wise, got some QBs coming off the board. Like I said, Drew Brees is out of there. John Brown, he had a good year with Buffalo last year. He just got drafted. Jordan Howard, who's now down in Miami, splitting carries with Matt Breida. 49ers, first defense off the board. Look, 49ers is the best defense in the draft. I understand that. Defense wins championships. Marlon Mack is after that. Noah Fant, and then Hayden Hurst. So Hayden Hurst was one of my sleepers, and that really hurts inside. That was one of my sleepers for tight end this year. I'm a big fan of Hayden Hurst, so that's why I waited this late in the draft. Usually, not a lot of people know about Hayden Hurst unless they were listening to the show last week, but that's a great pick there. Fortunately, I have another sleeper in fantasy this year in the tight end slot, and as long as Craig Daleske doesn't take him, then I am justified in my choices in this life in waiting this late to take tight ends. But we'll find out. We get 25 seconds left of Craig Daleske. Maybe he's listening and trying to mind fuck me right now on who that sleeper is at tight end. We'll see, Craigers. 15 seconds, and I know you're nervous. Alexander Matson went off the board. I don't know who that is. He's running back for the Vikings. Maybe they're trying to handcuff him with Dalvin Cook, but have fun with that. Eric Ebron. So Craig Daleske is listening to the show, and he tried to guess which tight end was my sleeper. It was not Eric Ebron, and you can go fuck yourself in that. It's actually Austin Hooper. Austin Hooper was fantastic for the Falcons. Fucking amazing. Cleveland signed him in the offseason, and I was very, very sad to see him go. I think he's fucking lights out, and I think he's going to be great for Case Keenum once Baker Mayfield is out of there. And Cleveland's, and I love Austin Hooper. I think he could have a huge year in Cleveland this year, but nobody's drafted him for some reason, so I waited late. Look, like I said at the top, it's always important to have a good backup tight end. Since I went so late in the draft to take a tight end at this point, I'm going to take another backup. I'm going to take a backup tight end. So I'm going to go back-to-back tight ends here. I love T.J. Hawkinson last year out of Iowa. He had some great games early on in the season and was dealing with some injuries later on. And I think he could be another superstar as long as Matthew Stafford stays healthy. Therefore, he's going to be my backup on my team here at tight end, T.J. Hawkinson. Right now, we're at the top of round 11. And I took T.J. Hawkinson as my backup quarterback. I'm my backup tight end. I've still not drafted a quarterback yet. Simply because that is a very, very deep position. There are a lot of guys that I like here, and truthfully, they're going to be here when this swings back around to me in round 12, and that's when I'll start to look at a quarterback and try to get my dick hard on one. So we'll see. We'll see. But Craig Daleske, I see what you tried to do, and you did not accomplish it. I really wanted Austin Hooper, and if you're a Cleveland fan, look, your fucking offense is stacked. You have everything in the world to be excited about. If Baker Mayfield, is able to turn it on, great. He's the dude. But I really think Case Keenum could have a fucking all-star year there, man. He's a veteran, and you have the best wide receivers, tight ends, running backs you could possibly ever dream of on that fucking team, man. You could score a gajillion points as long as your quarterback is accurate. So we'll see what happens there. But Austin Hooper, looking forward to seeing you there. I'll miss you in Atlanta, my friend. You're great. The Sterling Shepard is off the board after TJ Hawkinson. Buffalo Bills. Look, man, I've got the Bills rated 2 this year in defenses. I understand that move. It's a great pick. There, 49ers and Bills, the 2 best defenses, in my opinion, this year. Somebody will always pop out of the shadows, though, and surprise you, so I'll typically wait for a defense until later on. But we'll see what the board dictates at this point. I'm not afraid to sneak up if nobody's going after QBs here in this next round and get my defense there. To repeat who my team is, I got Christian McCaffrey, Austin Eckler, DJ Chark, Michael Gallup, Austin Hooper, David Johnson, Kareem Hunt, Ingram, the running back out of Baltimore, Emmanuel Sanders, Jerry Jeudy, and TJ Hawkinson is my backup. Looking at a pretty goddamn good squad here. You can just take my running backs and go fuck off. I'm probably making the playoffs. So I feel pretty positive about my life and my situation here. There's nothing worse than when you get to this round in the draft and you're not amped about the decisions you've made and you hate your team. Luckily, that didn't happen to me. Probably because I'm in the disappointments league, and this is not the caliber of people that should ever be playing against a skilled professional like myself in fantasy football, but such is life at that point. I can't stop you. I cannot stop you. The deviant sausage is in there. He says, you snaked my backup tight end, Ross. Goddamn right I did. Goddamn right I did. Sorry about it. Nothing I can do. Nico the Greco, what's up, man? Sean Taylor is my all-time favorite player. That's 357 SIG, beats 9mm. Sean Taylor was great, man. He would have been a Hall of Famer had he not been murdered. But he got murdered in his house during a robbery, I believe. But Sean Taylor was well on his fucking way here. I'll go ahead and pop into the message board and answer some of your questions if you want. Let's see here. Ooh, a lot of ACLs. AJ Gamble says a lot of ACLs. A lot of things going down. Look, there's going to be a lot of injuries this year. You're right, AJ Gamble. There's going to be a lot of injuries this year in fantasy football because there's no preseason. Like we said on the show a couple weeks ago, a month ago, I told you preseason was going to get canceled, and it did. Therefore, you're going to see a lot of fucking injuries, man. And because of COVID and all this other bullshit, I don't know if they start this season on time. I'm not really sure what's going to happen with that. I know that testing has advanced since we did that show. The NFL was dead set on pushing it back to week 5, but the testing has advanced, and that saliva test that is going around the NBA, they're using in the NFL. Hopefully that lets the season start on time because, frankly, after the bullshit that happened in the NBA and Major League Baseball and in the NHL the last 2 days, I really don't give a fuck about watching them right now. I just don't. I don't want to see the NFL politicized the same way that the rest of these sports have been, but we'll see. We'll see. I have not dipped over to ESPN yet today because we were doing a show before. Sunday night show. We just recorded a show before this. A great show with Dakota Meyer, Medal of Honor recipients, and one of our best friends. He's on the show, and it was a fantastic show. We just shot that right before this one. So if you see me and you're like, why are you wearing the same clothes on Sunday night? We shot it today. Breaking news, Porzingis is out for the rest of the year for the Clippers, or for the Mavericks against the Clippers here. And this, and then sources are saying the Big Ten is mulling a Thanksgiving start. Why? Let's get it into the playoffs. Move this up to fucking October. Fire Kevin Warren. This is clearly political, and this is going to backfire on them. They've got to play in the playoffs. If you're going to have a playoff system, start on time so you can play in the playoffs, you fucking dicks. I don't understand that. recap what's been happening after the Bills got picked here at beginning of round 11. The Ravens defense went after that. Great defense. Jalen Reagor, the wide receiver out of Philadelphia. I don't know who that is. Good luck with that. Or Reagor. I don't know how you pronounce that guy's name. I never heard of him. The Steelers defense went after that. I don't know how good the Steelers defense is going to be. Blake Jarwin. He's allegedly a tight end in Dallas. I've never heard of that human being. Pulled some stats on him. Joe Burrow went. Strong pick. That's got to be a fucking Ohio State homer or a fucking LSU homer or just a fucking Ohio homer at that point. Colts defense went after that. Why? Darrell Henderson Jr. I would have taken Darrell Henderson Jr. earlier. Stefania Bell on ESPN said he had some weird injury and they weren't sure what that was going to pan out to be yet. So I was kind of hesitant on him. Since we're doing the show live on air and I'm drafting against you, I don't want to give you that info in case you didn't know it. But it's not a bad pick this late because chances are that's not your starter, so you can afford to let him get healthy. Sammy Watkins, the wide receiver out of Kansas City, went after that. I like that pick there. Sammy Watkins is always solid. Preston Williams. Patriots defense. Patriots had a great defense last year. I don't see them changing this year, maybe because of the guys that are sitting out. There's Hightower's out, the linebacker for Patriots. He's sitting out this year, so we'll see. Deshaun Jackson went after that. Harrison Butker, Latavius Murray, Justin Tucker. It's way too early to draft a kicker. Never fucking draft a kicker right now. That is pure fucking madness that you're doing that, sir. In the fucking 13th round. That should always be your last round pick. Carson Wentz, Teddy Bridgewater, Antonio Gibson, T. Higgins, the rookie, and Paris Campbell. Oh, I like Paris Campbell. It's a great pick. So Craig Daleske is before me. He's probably staring at my team, wondering who I have and how to block me or attempt to block me from the quarterback that I want. Craig, this is mind games here at this point, and you're going to lose. He picked the Bears defense, which is it's a solid pick, man. The Bears always have a great defense. All right, so I do not have a quarterback this late in the draft. There's a few that I like here, and looking at the big board here, the big board. I think Roethlisberger is going to have a sleeper type year. I like him. There's a lot of good quarterbacks in the air. As much as I hate to say it, I think Phillip Rivers is going to have a good year with the Colts, man. And he's going to have a lot of fucking options there. So I'm going to go Phillip Rivers. And then as my backup, I'm going to look at the rest of the board here. I was going to just take a peeksies. Just take a little peeksies over defenses, see what we got left here. Broncos defense is on there. They've always got a pretty solid fucking defense there. But there's a couple other defenses that I like still on the board. So I'm going to wait on that and go backup quarterback here. And hopefully, Matthew Stafford is healthy because they got a fucking awesome team there. And if he is, the dude puts up fucking 400 yards a game. So I'm going to take Stafford here, and hopefully he's healthy and back from that back injury. But we'll see. We will see. But either way, man, I think Phillip Rivers is going to have a really good year up in Indy, and he's going to be slanging that rock around in that offense, man. I like it. I like it up there with T.Y. Hilton and those guys, as long as they can stay healthy. I think that's the key, though, for fantasy football players this year, if they can stay healthy with no preseason and COVID and all these fucking rules. Because right now, man, you've been washing your hands, fucking toweling off everything, and you're not really hitting each other and getting after it. So we'll see who's going to stay healthy this year. But definitely do not take a kicker here. Whoever took a kicker in round 13, dude, you're going to lose. I don't even know the rest of your team. You're just going to lose. You're going to lose here. We're in the middle of round 13. After Matthew Stafford went Ryan Tannehill. Yeesh. Look, Tannehill's a great game manager. He's just not a great fucking quarterback. They backed up the truck and paid him. He's not going to throw many picks. He's not going to make a lot of mistakes, but it's a heavy dose of Derrick Henry in that offense. And hopefully that's that guy's backup QB. We'll see. Right after that went Chris Herndon. It's the Jets. I'm not drafting anybody from the Jets. I already said that. So I'm assuming the tight end slot got super fucking desperate there. That's my only guess here is why you would take Chris Herndon. Ben Roethlisberger went out to that. Somebody's got to be watching the show. I think Ben Roethlisberger is a sleeper this year. I think he's got a lot to prove. And they've got some good talent there in Pittsburgh, man. It just depends on if he's healthy. He's an older guy, too. But typically he's pretty durable. But he's coming off of a fucking massive surgery, so we'll see what happens. But I like Roethlisberger there. I think it's a good pick. And again, if he has a great year, congratulations. You got a great QB in round 13. And there's still some decent quarterbacks left on the board here. I mean, shit, I think Dwayne Haskins is going to have a pretty fucking goddamn good year, to be honest with you. Fitzmagic is down in Miami. Craig Daleske, if you're listening, it's Garbage Town, USA for that guy. I almost went Case Keenum in this draft because I'm so positive that he's going to be playing for the Browns. It's this close to doing it, but I liked Phillip Rivers. And Matthew Stafford, I just couldn't pull the trigger, dude. Because I don't know what's going to happen. Baker Mayfield could have a good year, and then I'm wrong. I just don't like Baker Mayfield as a person or a player. But right after that, Roethlisberger went to Daniel Jones. Danny Dimes, man. People are high on him this year. Could be fun. We'll see. I don't believe in him that much, but you do. Darius Slayton went after that. James Washington, wide receiver out of Pittsburgh, went after that. I think he could have a pretty decent year. That's a great pick this late in the draft. Vikings defense. Vikings always have a pretty solid defense. Brandon Ayuk. I don't know who the fuck that is, bro. Wide receiver out of San Francisco. I can promise you he would have been there for the last pick in the draft if he wanted to go that route. Baker Mayfield is off the board. There we go. There we go, kids. Baker Mayfield's off the board. And Adrian Peterson. Look, Adrian Peterson's the oldest running back next to Frank Gore in the NFL. Second oldest running back there is. He needs to pay his back taxes. Therefore, needs to have a good season or he's just fucked in life. So I don't mind that pick this late in the draft. I would have done it as well if I would have needed a running back. And he could have a decent year. Pop on over to the used tubes and see what happens. But people were speculating whether or not Kreggers was going to take an Iowa Hawkeye. I don't think he did. I did. So fuck you. Somebody's asking if CJ Spiller is still playing. No, dude. I don't think he's playing. He hasn't played in years. He was great, man. He kept getting hurt. CJ Spiller was good. He was a great college athlete. Reed White was asking me to take Baker Mayfield. Not a prayer, my man. Not a prayer. AJ Gamble says Frank Gore has a head like a Pez dispenser. Yes, he does. Yes, he fucking does. Yeah, man. I know there's a lot of Browns fans that listen to the show. I get it, man. I'm high on the Browns. I'm just not high on fucking Baker Mayfield. I would love to see the Browns win a fucking Super Bowl. That would be great. It'd be great for the city of Cleveland, and I hope it happens. I just don't think it's going to happen with Baker, and I'm sorry. So right now we're at the end of round 14 out of 16. At this point, man, I am pretty short up on every position except for one. I'm not going to say what that is because there's 4 picks ahead of me, and I don't want them to fucking jack my shit. But I feel great about this draft so far. And it's just one position I need to shore up. And then the rest of it's kind of for funsies at that point, where I just take a flyer on somebody that is unexpected. And I always try to do that every year in round 15 usually, because round 16 I always take a kicker. And again, if you're not taking a kicker in the last round of your draft and you're drafting early, something is fucking wrong inside your mind. And I pray for you every day. Pray for you every single day. Drew Lock went off the board. Duke Johnson, Michael Williams. Mike Williams is a great pick there. Out of the Chargers, Duke Johnson went after him. Drew Lock, man, the Drew Lock could be great this year. Denver's going to be a fun team to watch. I'm high on that kid. I just wasn't high enough to take him over Phillip Rivers, obviously, and Matt Stafford, but maybe someday I will. He looks great. Will Lutz, a kicker. Why are you taking a fucking kicker, dude, in round 14? Do not do this. I just told you that. There's no way you're listening to this fucking show right now because you do not take a fucking kicker here. My God, man. Whoever that is going to lose. Nipple rings. Your team name is Nipple Rings, and you took of course it is. Of course you took a fucking kicker in round 14 with the team name Nipple Rings. And you took Will Lutz, the kicker out of New Orleans. All he does is kick extra points, dude. Fucking A, bro. That's terrible. Kirk Cousins went after that. Look, man, I don't know. I like Kirk Cousins as a quarterback. I've never been shy about that on this show. I don't like the offensive coordinator, though, of Minnesota. He just doesn't throw the ball enough. So Kirk Cousins is going to get you 15 points a game, 14. That's not good enough in fantasy, bro. Hopefully that's a backup quarterback. Jimmy Graham went after that. Jimmy Graham's now a journeyman. I understand it, man. Tight end is bleak. You want to take a flyer on Jimmy Graham this late, that's fine. The Broncos went after that. I'm up, and was not going to tell you who I was going to pick. I was going to take a defense this late, and I am. And I'm going to take the Cowboys defense because well, I think the Cowboys are going to have a great year, man. And look, Tank Williams has been on the show. I'm a fan. I'm a Cowboys believer this year, you fucks. I've got two Cowboys on my team. I got Michael Gallup, and now I got the defense. The Hot Boys running the defense this year. The reason I'm taking the Cowboys defense this late is their offense is going to be on the field a ton. So we'll see. Now's the point where I look to take a flyer on somebody. I'll kind of look in the wide receiver position. Or the fucking running back position. You just kind of take one of my sleepers, somebody that I like, that might be a fave to me. And you know who that is this year? It's Antonio Brown. I know he's suspended for 8 games. I'm going to stash him on my bench. And you can get fucked because I think he's going to play this year. And I think he's probably going to end up in Seattle. That's my guess. He's going to end up with the Seahawks, and I'm going to stash Antonio Brown on my bench. I am out of round 15. I have one pick left in round 16, and obviously that is going to be a kicker. I'm sure the message boards are going wild that I drafted Antonio Brown, but let's face it, my team is deep enough that I could. And that's my recommendation. If your team is that deep, where you don't need another running back or backup tight end or whatever the fuck it is you need in this life, Take a fucking flyer with your 15th round pick. Take somebody that it's like, all right, cool. You're not afraid if he goes down, or if he's a rookie, or if he's fucking suspended, man. That's why I'm taking Antonio Brown this late. So with Yalthi, right after Antonio Brown went Larry Fitzgerald. That's what I'm talking about. You can get great wide receivers super late in this draft. Larry Fitzgerald in round 15? Come on, dude. Come on. It's a great pick. It's a fucking great pick, dude. This late? Round 15? Congratulations. You get Larry Fitzgerald in round 15. That's amazing. Because whatever you say, Larry Fitzgerald's still great, man. Still fucking great. After him went Cole Beasley. Look, Cole Beasley's always solid up there. If you want to put him in as a flex position one of these weeks or as a fill-in or somebody gets hurt. And then Justin Jackson, the backup running back to Austin Eckler, went after that. The Bucs defense went after that. And I'm going to pop on over to the YouTube message boards here. Julia Mongulia said oof on Brown, though. Look, he's a fucking horrible human, dude. A horrible human. But such is life, dude. It's fantasy football. I'm here to win, and that's it. I don't care about what kind of humans they are. I don't draft on that, clearly. And nothing I can do. I want to win. I want to win the signed Ryan Leaf jersey. I want to put that up on the set. I don't give a shit about your feelings, what you feel about this person. I'm taking him. God damn it, Julia. Julia says, Ross, just keep caring. I do. If there's one thing in this life that I do, it's care. Sometimes some people say I care too much about humans, but whatevs, dude. That's who I am. But yeah, I'm stashing Antonio Brown on my bench. And at this point, again, this is no secret at this point. We're at the end of round 15. Look, round 16 is when you're taking your kickers. You will find out who all these dipshits were, and I'll read off their team names. of who didn't take a kicker in round 15. If they're drafting somebody else, that means they didn't draft a kicker. I mean, they drafted a kicker earlier. Matt Prater went off the board in round 15. Again, too early for that nonsense. Alan Lazard, I don't even know who the fuck that is. Wide receiver out of Green Bay. Have fun with that. Tyler Eifert, tight end. That's a good pick. Smith, the tight end out of Tennessee, went after that. Saints defense, Rams defense. Clearly, these two fucks drafted a kicker early. Have fun with all that. Robbie Gould went after that kicker. That's where he should be. Congratulations. Gardner Minshew, QB, Jacksonville. Love the Mississippi mustache. That's a great pick in the last round. But that means you took a kicker before, and you're an idiot. Younghoe Kim? I don't know. Either way, he's a kicker from the 49ers. He's terrible. Would not have taken that kicker. When I said take a kicker in round 16, I didn't mean that one. The Chargers defense went after that. Legatron, who's now at Dallas, was the kicker that I was going to take, and he got taken. It's a great pick. Dallas going to put a lot of points up on the board, and that motherfucker can kick it from 70. So I like that. It's a sexy pick there. I was going to take Legatron. That was who my pick was going to be. Now I'm a little dipshit. Chris Boswell went after that. Alshon Jeffrey, if you can stay healthy, is fine. But again, that means you didn't take a kicker. In round 16, you took it earlier in the draft. And you can enjoy your life, and I'll enjoy playing you every week. Brashard Perryman went after that, wide receiver. Matt Gay, the kicker out of Tampa Bay. You know, that's another one who was going to take. If Brady's healthy, they're going to put a lot of points on the board. And that's a fun one. That is a very fun pick for you and your whole family. I'm going to scroll through my kicker list now that we're down to the last two picks of the draft. Chase McLaughlin, the kicker out of Indy, is in there. That's a good pick, man. Indy's going to put a lot of points on the board. I like that kicker choice for you and your entire family. As I'm looking through the kickers here, there's still some sleeper ones that I like here, kicker-wise. I know it's weird to say you have a sleeper kicker, but it is what it is. That is what we are doing here. We're in the round of the kickers. If you're taking this long to think about your kicker, I'm going to do it simply because we're doing it live on YouTube, and I'm going to talk you through it. But you get fucking problems in your life. Austin Siebert, you took that long to take the kicker for Cleveland? Come on, bro. At this point, like, who the fuck cares? You should have known who your kicker was. You dumb SOB. So, like, for me, I'm the last pick in this draft since I was the first pick in this draft. I'm the first pick in this draft because I set up the goddamn drafts, and that's how it works at ESPN. But I'll take the full minute on this kicker to kind of talk you through it. At this point, you were choosing a kicker in round 16. You should never draft a kicker earlier than this. Go through and think about who the highest scoring teams are going to be in the NFL. Arizona's in there. If you believe Arizona's going to put a lot of points up on the board, which I do, you can take the guy from Arizona. He's also in a dome, and that helps. Brandon McManus has got a leg on him out of Denver. But I'm going to go Zane Gonzalez out of Arizona. I think Arizona's going to put a lot of points on the board, and he's got a big leg, and they're in a dome. And that's kind of how I make my decisions here on this. You just pick a high-scoring team, you think, at this point in round 16. And Zane Gonzalez is my kicker. My team is now complete. So is the Daleske Disappointments draft. I'm going to tell you who I got at my quarterback. I got Phillip Rivers. We'll see how he does. Not too concerned about it because I got Matt Stafford as my backup. Christian McCaffrey is my running back. Austin Eckler is my other running back. DJ Chark is my wide receiver. Michael Gallup is another wide receiver. Austin Hooper is my tight end. I think he's going to have a great year. David Johnson, I'm super high on this year. I think he's going to have a bounce back year. For the Texans, I took the Cowboys defense. Zane Gonzalez is my kicker. My bench is stacked. Kareem Hunt, Mark Ingram at running back. Emmanuel Sanders, wide receiver in New Orleans. Jerry Jeudy, the fun rookie up in Denver. TJ Hawkinson is my backup tight end. Matt Stafford is my quarterback. And then my flyer, who I'm stashing on my bench until week 9, is Antonio Brown. Kids, looking forward to fantasy football this year. This is my first real draft. We did a mock draft last week. We'll see how the season shakes out, and then obviously I'll be embarrassing these guys live on air and letting you know how horrible they did week in and week out on Drinkin Bros Sports. Subscribe to Drinkin Bros Sports on Facebook, and then you can see all the shit talking that goes on there. And shout out to the people who are watching live on YouTube for this draft. Obviously, I'm Ross Patterson, the greatest fantasy football player alive. We'll see what I do this year, Giorgio. But this is the Drinkin Bros. This is the first draft, and we're going to televise the other 4 as well. Go to Drinkin Bros Sports. There's still 1 league left, the Cutthroat Killers League. And you must have won 2 championships in that. It's the only league we have to fill up yet. So check it out. Have a great weekend, everybody. Fuck off.